The figure of Vito Corleone in The Godfather is one of the greatest examples of how true power doesn't need exaggerated displays. His control over people and situations doesn't come from shouting, gratuitous violence, or a show of physical strength. On the contrary, Vito's aura is built through silences, calculated glances, and a calm that seems unshakable. He is a man who commands with restrained gestures but with a weight that makes anyone think twice before challenging him. From the very first scene of the film, this becomes clear. Buonasera, the funeral home owner, is the first character to present us with the scale of respect and fear that the Don inspires. Buonasera enters Vito's office visibly nervous, almost stumbling over his own words, like someone who knows the power of the man in front of him, but who, at the same time, has no other choice but to ask for help. And even with all that fear, there is a certainty behind every sentence Buonasera utters. He knows that if Vito Corleone accepts his request, justice will be served. This is the first great sign of Vito's strength. Even those who fear him trust him. There is no room for doubt. If the Don says he's going to do something, he will. It's a kind of power that goes beyond the physical. It's the strength of his word, of his reputation, and above all, of his experience. The way Vito conducts himself during this opening conversation already reveals a lot. He speaks slowly, chooses his words carefully, makes long pauses before answering. Everything about him is control. Every silence is calculated. It's as if he knows that true power lies in not being rushed, in letting others feel the weight of his presence, of his decision. That impressive calm doesn't come by chance. It is the result of a lifetime of battles, betrayals, losses, and hard-earned victories. Vito is a man who has seen it all. From his youth as a poor immigrant to his rise to the position of Don of one of the most influential families in the underworld, his path has been marked by obstacles that would have destroyed anyone else. But he survived. And not only survived. He prospered, that survival in a world as violent and unpredictable as that of the crime families shaped in Vito a wisdom few possess. He understands timing. He knows that often victory doesn't lie in the strongest blow, but in the patient wait for the right moment to act. While other leaders fall because they act impulsively or let ego take over, Vito always stays one step ahead, analyzing situations with coldness and clarity. His age, far from being a weakness, is a living proof of his mastery in the game of power. In an environment where few reach old age, Vito carries every wrinkle, every mark on his face like a trophy. He is the survivor, the strategist, the master who succeeded where many failed. With every glance, with every piece of advice, we perceive that we are facing someone who has witnessed the worst sides of human nature and learned to control them all. This experience directly translates into how he handles crises. When Vito is in command, there's an invisible order in the air. Everyone around him, even those who hate him, recognizes this. During the height of the war between the families, his temporary absence creates chaos. The streets become dangerous, allies become uncertain, enemies feel free to act. But as soon as Vito returns, order begins to re-establish itself. Meetings resume, bosses return to the table, and little by little, the lost balance returns. One of the moments that best exemplifies this moral authority of Vito is the famous peace meeting between the heads of the 5 families. There, even physically weakened after the assassination attempt that nearly took his life, he remains the most respected voice in the room. It's no coincidence that the other Dons only agree to end the war because it is Vito who proposes peace. He doesn't need to shout, doesn't need to pound the table. His words, spoken with serenity, have more force than any threat. The way he conducts his business also reflects this intelligence. Vito understands that power sustained solely by fear is unstable. That's why he built a network of loyalty and respect, where favors are the most valuable currency. He knows that a debt of gratitude is stronger and more lasting than the fear of immediate retaliation. This leadership philosophy is what sets him apart from other crime bosses, who often act driven by impulse, ego, or the constant need for reaffirmation. His mere presence is enough to put everyone on alert. Michael Corleone, his son, inherits the throne but chooses a different path. Where Vito used diplomacy and calculation, Michael resorts to brute force and quick elimination of enemies. Michael is efficient. But his reign is colder, more distant, less human. This only reinforces how unique Vito's figure was. His ability to combine firmness with humanity, power with justice, fear with respect, is something rare. Throughout the entire film, Vito's presence conveys a clear message: true power is the one that doesn't need explanation. That doesn't need to be shown at every moment. It's in the subtext, in the silences, in the decisions that happen behind the scenes. His story is a reminder that the most feared force is the one that doesn't need to scream. That the true leader is the one who, even in silence, makes everyone around him know exactly who is in control.